The fifth race of the 2014 AARO AMP Energy Racing Series would be at Willow Point for the Willow Point Dash. The AAA pole award goes to Tyler Diefer in the number 20 AutoZone Ford Fusion for Renesee Racing, as we have a bumper camera set just past the start-finish line. As we head now into the first few corners, Alan Reeds jumps up into second place, Justin Pisani third. Kenny Geralds is also in the back as Reeds tries to make a charge on Diefer, can't quite make a pass stick. Greg Sauer through the first corner blows a motor. I'm sure the engine builders on that team are going to be quite happy, as a couple cars ran into him. Nicholas Hierski was one of them. He just clipped the 24. That's going to be the end of his race. Nate Smith just kind of has enough of him. Doesn't want to get held up by him. So 2 cars already done on the first lap. Todd Bradshaw is going to get turned into the wall by Herb Cilantro. They kind of ride the guardrail and merge safely back out onto the track as Carson Crompton goes by. Sean Glossum is going to run it off in the first in the Nürburgring corner. A very sharp sweeping right-hander. Definitely going to have a tough time with that corner. Many drivers will. Glossum already kind of set himself behind here as Tyler Diefer leads the first lap. Alan Reeds and Kenny Geralds are sitting in the back. Reeds about a full car length or so in the back of Diefer. Here's Casey Lester running in 5th place right now. He's pursuing the 16 of Justin Pisani. Currently the points leader, right behind Pisani as the 16 is going to check out through that corner. Got a nice run as they now head down into the same Nürburgring corner. Here's an example, a sharp left-hander, banked left-hander. And Lester does not slide off. However, his teammate Tommy Richard does, into the wall and into that barrier. Eric Webler's going to pile in. Once you kind of... that's going to be the end of Richard's race. Once you slide off, it's kind of going to be... you really are along for the ride at that point. As on lap 4, Sean Glossum's going to hold up the 20 of Tyler Diefer. And Alan Reeds is going to go by taking the lead in the 19. As Tyler Diefer is going to take second here as reverse team orders at the Gerald's team, as the 14 is being held up by his employee Sean Glossum right now. Pisani's going to go by for third. Lester's going to take fourth. And Lochner probably going to set up for fifth, as Pisani's going to try and track down the 20 of Diefer for second place. Livonia winner Luis Tellez is going to slide off, as we were saying, as he slides on that pavement. You're kind of along for the ride, into the gravel, into that wall, and into the barrier with the nose of the car. So Tellez out of it ever since, not out of the race, but I mean out of it as far as his consistency's gone. Lap 9, Jonathan Ringer, Op Inc. driver, falls for the same fate, into the wall, into the other wall, essentially, as he tries to dig it out of the gravel, and he is able to do so. Casey Lester's going to do the same thing. He's going to fall victim to this corner. The points leader off the road, into the gravel, and into the wall. Goes the points leader. That's got to be just a tough break. It's definitely not what he needed, and we have a caution for that, despite 3 other drivers going off in the same area. No caution for them. Not exactly sure on that one. But ruling to ruling, as Sean Glossum's going to stay out to potentially get a lap back in the 09, as he I don't know if he can really make his situation at Gerald's any better, seeing as what he's already done. But Alan Reeds, Diefer, basically anyone else, most of the leaders come in to get tires and fuel, as Reeds is going to come in and take tires. Now watch the bottom right of the screen. You saw Lochner there. He didn't take tires at all on that stop, and he is going to get out of the pits first, while everyone else is going to take 4. Well, not everyone. There's about half the cars that pit rather took pretty much fuel only. And that move is going to put Lochner out in the lead with Alex Yates, Mike Oppenheimer, Ricardo Blanco up to 4th. And that is Josh Mertz up in the 5th position. Green flag, Lochner 2 heading down into turn number 1. The 09 not going to bow down and let him go through, as he's got a hard charging Alex Yates and Mike Oppenheimer as well right behind him. He goes to the bottom. He's going to find him, find a spot open underneath the 09. Trying to fight on the outside. Glossum giving him a hard time. Like I've said, not making their lives easy. So I guess he's trying to make up for holding up his team owner by holding the rest of the field up, as Carson Crompton's going to slide off in the Nürburgring corner. Sean Donnelly and Eric Webler. Eric Webler again. Todd Bradshaw in the 98 getting into the back of the 20, or getting in the back there. As Alan Reeds, after that pit stop, he was the first car that took tires out of the pits, and he would be blasting by everybody who had taken fuel only. So tires definitely a key here as he goes around the outside of Oppenheimer. A great move by Reeds around the outside of the 99 to take, I want to say that's around the top 5. I believe the 19 is at least in the top 5 at this point. He's in 3rd, as Glossum is a lap down. Here is Reeds making another move on the outside past Alex Yates for 2nd place. And now he's got the inside. He's got the preferred line. Yates is actually going to get a run. But Reeds again on the outside is able to make it work on the rumble strips. Maybe didn't quite get as much of a run as he was hoping, as Yates is able to clear him and cut him off down under the Dunlop Bridge into the Nürburgring corner. As they go side by side through that corner, that's very dangerous. A couple other cars going side by side. That's not exactly the preferred line. Oh, this is the Dunlop Bridge, sorry. As Reeds and Yates still battling for 2nd place. The 19 is hard charging, but the 1 chopping him off every possible turn that he can. 19 almost at the back bumper. There he goes. Giving the 1 a little bit of a shot, letting him know that he's there and that he wants the position, as if Yates didn't know already. He's probably the only thing that's preventing the 19 from getting to Lochner and tracking him down. As we head down the front stretch again into turn number 1. Alan Reeds with a very dismal start to the season. 2 40th place finishes in the first 2 races. And didn't have, just in general, these first 4 races hasn't quite gone his way. Lap 19, however, ironically, car number 19 is going to go to the top of the leaderboard as he finally gets around Yates. And at this point, nothing stops him from tracking down the 34 of Lochner and taking over the lead for himself. So Reeds, at that point, would be on rails, as he's pretty much been since pit stops, as Emma Trout is going to run off into the wall and into the barrier. Almost getting her car beached, and there is Frank Harris in the 89. Shades of his AYG days, I guess, as Justin Bazzani's going to go around to take 3rd place from Alex Yates. Kenny Gerald's on the outside of his teammate. This time, Glossum's not going to give him much of a fight. All 3 of the Gerald's Inc. cars in this shot here, as you see Yates in the background trying to hold off Mario Lancer in the 27, having a very quiet run at the Sauer Enterprises team. Obviously, car owner blew up on lap 1 in turn 1. As Bazzani's going to make a move now. Lochner almost runs it off, as several drivers have already done, but he hangs on to it, although he is going to lose 2nd place to Justin Pisani and possibly 3rd to Gerald's here. Gerald's working on the outside. Lochner, Yates, everybody who took fuel only is going to dive in and take tires, as, it seems that Reeds had the right strategy. They didn't, and tires are eventually going to wear out anyway. So very smart option of Alan Reeds to take an opportunity of getting tires under the last pit stop. And despite the idea that fuel only was probably the best idea at the time, as this run has gone on, it's been proven, that 19 car has been proof that tires were certainly the better option, as he is just checked out about 10 seconds on the rest of the field. Kenny Gerald's trying to fight on the outside of Pisani for second. He gets a nice run out of the corner, and he is going to make the pass stick. He goes around the 16 of Pisani to take second place. But he's still a ways behind the 19, although now I think that he has tires. He might be able to close the gap as Herb Cilantro just dive bombs Jeff Parshall and shoves him into those barriers over there. That's going to take Jeff Parshall out of the race, and normally you'd see Parshall making that move on Cilantro, but not sure what Cilantro was thinking there, as Josh Mertz is going to slide off into the tire barriers, and number 8 off into the wall, and he will limp it back around to the pits as Chad Lipinski just kind of runs over the 8. Not sure quite what that was about, what Lipinski has against Leggy, but Jack Walter making a move around Tyler Diefer for, I want to say, 5th place. Well, not quite, more like Diefer making a move around Walter. This 91 car has been kind of anonymous for the first few races, but finally seems to be surfacing as Alan Reeds is going to come by and take the white flag final lap here at Willow Point. Alan Reeds, what a turnaround this race has certainly been for that 19 team after the struggle that he had, a rather hard crash at Livonia. Just overall, he has just not quite had the season that he had been hoping. This is certainly going to be a turnaround for his season. As Gerald's right, Gerald's, I don't know if you could see him in the background, but Kenny Gerald has been closing in. I want to say that's about 5.5 seconds. Definitely not going to be enough at this rate unless the 19 slips up and makes a mistake at some point in this final lap. But the Sam Davids Racing team isn't quite known to be one of the most dominant teams in the series. Mac DiCario's had a couple strong runs here and there so far, but Alan Reed certainly taking the showing the way for that team here today. As clear sailing in his windshield, Gerald's is not a threat at all as he comes around these final few corners. Gerald's about 4 seconds. He continues to close, but it's not going to be enough as he rounds the final corner. Alan Reeds comes across the comes across the start-finish line to win the Willow Point Dash here at Willow Point. And what a turnaround, what a morale boost this has got to be for Sam Davids Racing. Great win for Alan Reeds, completely dominant after pit stops. Kenny Gerald comes home 4.4 seconds behind the 19. Justin Visani in third, definitely going to help his title run out. 5.4 seconds back. Over 10 seconds separate first and fourth. Mario Lancer with a quiet run, 10.75 back. Tyler Diefer, pole sitter, falls to fifth. Tim Averill with another quiet run for him, got past Jack Walter for sixth. Kent Grosso with a strong run, the rookie, in eighth place. Barry Juveno following up his third place at Boston with a ninth. 15 seconds behind, and David Lee Bibson rounds out the top 10. Very strong run indeed for the unnamed team, and they've really fallen off as well. Really haven't seen a whole lot of either of the two drivers. As we now move on to points, Justin Pisani told you that this would help him in points. He takes the points lead, 41 points over Ricardo Blanco. Nate Smith takes over third after Casey Lester crashes. Not out of the race, but he fell way behind. Kenny Gerald picks up the fifth, 82 points. Keith Davis, 91 back. Mac DiCario reads his teammate in seventh, 98 points. Livonia winner, Luis Telez, 136 back. Herb Cilantro in 9th. He might have a word with the officials. And Mike Oppenheimer, 158 back. As the next race will be at South Boston, the short track, for the Comerica 200.